NBL player Harry Froling is in hospital after suffering a fractured skull and bleeding on the brain.
Unconscious on the ground and attended by emergency personnel, the victim of an alleged attack early Sunday morning.
I don't really remember too much, to be honest. I don't really remember. I don't remember going to Wollongong Hospital. I don't remember getting on a plane. I don't remember talking to anyone.
In a statement, the Bullet said, Harry is currently recovering from an incident and will miss the remainder of the NBL 23 season.
I was told by the top neurosurgeons, by all of them, like, you're not playing sport again or playing basketball again, and it'd be hard for me to work a job or even have a normal life. So that was obviously traumatic, and I thought I'd be playing NBL 1 6 weeks later, and then sort of when it sinks in and they tell you, like, hey, you're not playing sport again. Yeah, it was definitely difficult, but I guess it got to the point where I was like, I got to go do something about it, and I'll give it a crack and try and see if I can prove everyone wrong, and yeah, that's what I've done. It was good for me watching them play and watching Sam play and being around it, but just not being in a team environment, sitting at home, not working for 2.5 years, just going through that whole thing while they're living their dreams and doing their stuff, and I'm sort of sitting there and just suffering in silence, sort of thing. With it's all ripped away from you, and they can be there and support you, but what do you tell someone that has been told they're never going to play the sport they love again, or the job they love, or whatever? You can be there for them, but you sort of have to go through that grieving process yourself. So there was a few things, like I started to just not act out in a way, but I was around my mates, Will Magnay and Lockie Venus, and two of my best mates, and I was just playing the victim a lot, and which obviously I was the victim, but they sort of let me, as I said, go through my grieving process and be upset and be down in the dumps, and sort of got to the point where I kept dragging it along, and I still was just gaining weight, and just not fun to be around. Not the boys didn't like being around me, my family, my partner at the time, just everyone. And then it got to the point where sort of Magnay, as I sort of said before, Magnay and Lockie gave me a bit of a spray, and they're like, if you don't want to help yourself, we can't help you. And sort of that just sunk in. I was like, you know what, I'm sitting here in Brisbane, sort of in my sorrows, got my issues that I have with the Bullets. I'm sort of doing everything on my own. It just wasn't the environment I needed to be in, and I sort of just, on a whim, decided, I'm going to go up to Mackay, because that was when Emmett Nair and Isaac White, Toddy Blanchfield were there, and I've got a really good relationship with JK, Joel Carlu. So I was like, you know what, I'll just go up there, and I was 160 kilos, so it's not like I did one training and then I'd be out for 2 weeks and do another. And I was like, I'll just go up there and be around a team environment, be around some of my best mates, and just see where it takes me. And slowly started to, build my mood back up and be happy and enjoy life, and got into all my fishing and spearfishing, and it was a good distraction from what I was going through. And obviously my whole career has sort of been, not in the best shape, not this, not that, and this was where I was at the heaviest I've ever been, and the worst shape I've ever been in. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it for myself, and for my family, and show that I can get through all this. And yeah, it sort of just built from there, slowly progressed. Yeah, well, I guess as my sort of symptoms got better and I lost weight and worked on my body and my mental health, and the headaches and all that slowly started to die off after a year or so, and all the dizziness and all that sort of concussive symptoms, they started to fade off. And as I sort of built up, and in Mackay I lost, I think I lost 10 kilos, got down to about 150 when I was in Mackay, 147-ish. Then I went to Townsville for another month or two before I went to Wollongong, and I got down to about, I think, 137 when I was in Townsville. Just paid someone, and they did all my nutrition and weighing all my food and stuff. And I got to the point where I was at a place where I could go and train in the NBL. I knew I wasn't ready to play NBL, but I figured if I can get to the point at least where I can go in, be a practice player, be around it, show the talent and skills and all that. And I knew it would work out well for me. And I got to that point and got to Wollongong, and then sort of from there it just skyrocketed, and I started to feel better. I was around physios, I was around doctors, just the support that the Hawks gave me. And from there, sort of everything just sort of ascended, and yeah, everything just got better with time. And that was the biggest thing for me, probably time. And yeah, well, I wasn't stepping on toes too much for scrimmages, so I would be a sub when they needed me, or when we were doing scout team, I'd be, the other guys, Matt Hurt and Rob Lowe and those sorts of guys on the other teams, just to help out the boys with preparation. And yeah, it was amazing, honestly. Like, I love my time when I was in Wollongong, and obviously Sam loves it there, and the owners, I love the owners, I love the coaching staff. I've got a good relationship with them all. JK, Flinny. I'd met JT earlier in the year, and he'd sort of hinted at, like, hey, if you want to come down and we can help you, like, do it. And I'd heard all the great things about him, and you know, I walked in there and it was like I'd been there all year. Like, obviously I'd had a relationship with most of the boys from playing there 2 years prior, but you know, JT welcomed me with open arms. I was on all the road, like not the road trips, but when the boys would have team events on, and you know, team dinners, everything. It was like I was part of the squad, and just that really helped me getting through what I was going through, because it gets pretty lonely when you're doing it all by yourself. So yeah, it meant the world to me. Yeah, obviously they're different situations, and you know, he's under contract still and earning money, and he's got full-time physio, and the Hawks are great for him. And but yeah, injuries suck, and that's what happens in sport. And all you can do, as I said, is be there and support each other. And you know, people are going to have their ups and downs. They're going to have good days. They're going to have shit days. That's what comes with injuries. And Sam's had a really good run. Obviously, it's unfortunate that he popped his Achilles, but he's smashing it right now. Like, he's progressing. He's walking around, no boot. You know, he's in the gym every day. He's actually put on a lot of size. He reckons he's getting a huge chest is his goal, while he can't do any leg stuff. So he's definitely filled out a bit, and yeah, he's smashing it. Like, you know, it's good that he's got some normality and walking around and driving, and yeah, he's not too incapacitated. So it's been good just to be there for him and support him, and he's smashing it. He's flying. So yeah, 2.5 years is a long time out of the game. Like, obviously I'd trained a bit and done stuff with the Hawks, but as you know, with NBL, towards the end of the season, trainings aren't up and down scrimmages and full blown. You know, it was mainly off-court stuff, shooting, conditioning, all that sort of stuff. So it was overwhelming. I didn't really, I think it sunk in more afterwards, like when I did the post-game interview with Casey Frank and all that, like, because it is a long time, and to sort of finally go, obviously my goal is NBL, but I was sort of like, this is the start, like, I'm back playing now. Like, basketball in general, I know it's not the NBL, but like, I'm back playing basketball, and it's a pretty special thing. And obviously to play the way I did and kind of there, and everyone be a bit shocked about it, and obviously knowing I wasn't a finished product too, like, it was still a stepping stone for me. So and then I think I'm probably another 10 kilos down from what I was when I first played that game. So as I said, it's just ascending for me, and yeah, it's been a good few months. You know, just really committing to basketball. I guess I took it for granted a bit before, obviously, the injury, and you know, lucky I'm still young, and it's all sunk in, and I guess you could say the pennies dropped. But it was just, yeah, I've always believed in myself and all that, and to actually get to the point where people are complimenting you and saying, like, hey, you look good, you're playing well. I guess that's when it sort of sunk in, like, hey, I've sort of done this, and I know I'm not a finished product, but that was definitely a good moment for me. Nah, I'll still throw a bit of chat and trash talk, and I'm still me, right? Like, I'm still Harry. I've definitely matured. I know when to what to say, when to say things, and obviously I'll still have my moments, but yeah, it's just being grateful, enjoying basketball, and you know, I'm not meant to be alive, let alone playing basketball. So it's all just a real bonus for me, and yeah, that's sort of how I've been taking it. I don't stress about any of it. I know if I'm handling the things with my body and the off-court stuff like I am, and the good feedback's coming from the people around me, everything's going to take care of itself, because obviously I know the type of basketball player I am and the level I can play at. So yeah, well, I think the main thing's my body. Obviously dropped a lot of weight. I think I'm looking a lot better than I ever did in the NBL, and I'm also 5 weeks out of pre-season start. So I plan on being another 5 to 6 kilos lighter by the time NBL pre-season starts, and from there it should just be, you know, into a full NBL pre-season. I should be flying. So yeah, I think it's just showing teams that obviously the skills there, the talent's there, and I think I'm probably a bit more poised than I used to be. I'm a bit more of a low block, you know, roll it in, go to work in the post. They can shoot the three, and I think watching Sam helped a lot. Like, the way he plays, and you know, he's one of the best bigs in the league, and I know he's my brother, but I like to think that I'm still a better player than him, and I'm a big bro and all that. So I'm just like, if I can emulate the way he plays to an extent and be able to shoot the three, I think the sky's the limit for me. So yeah, I mean, it might take a little while. Like obviously, it's a shock to go back to that level, and you know, if I'm lucky enough to be back there and back out playing, yeah, I think I just want to contribute to win it. It's not about coming out and dominating. It might be a long process. You know, it might be just playing my role for a couple of years. It might be you know, being cheer squad on the bench or whatever it is. I just want to get a foot in the door again, and I know everything will take care of itself, as I said. So yeah, just it's what I love. I love playing, love hoops, love being around team environment, and I guess it's shown me how quick it can be taken away. So as I said, grateful for it, and it'd be a special thing. And yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it, because the NBL's a hard thing to make in general for, you know, the general public, and to come back from something like I've done, you know, it's not a knee or an Achilles or something where it's a 9 to 12 months and hey, you're back. Like here's the usual timeline for people. It was a bit different for me, so it'd be cool and pretty special.